the whole book of it. It caused the book. I was reading it for fun.
So we just talked to my CEO, right, and of my company, and he brought up a very good, interesting discussion. He likes to give us kind of like little trivial scientific discussions. One of them regards about wormholes and how space is like a fabric.
Wormholes are basically the same thing as a black hole, except
Correct.
Wormholes, you can't. It's black holes. You don't know which one exists because it's
Right.
either one, other, or both.
Precisely.
And no one was once is brave enough to even go anywhere near a black hole to do it.
So, if it's true that wormholes like black holes, does that mean that because wormholes are supposed to take you from one point to another, and it is known. Have you ever heard of white holes before?
Yeah, white holes are basically the opposite of a black hole, and this kind of makes sense because basically the way black holes compress stuff, it will eventually have to destroy matter, and that would break the laws of physics.
Like how we perceive as wormholes is almost like a tunnel, but if it's true that the natural wormholes that are created naturally in the universe are indeed black holes or white holes, then it would be kind of destructive though, because you know what happens when you enter a black hole.
A white hole is the opposite of a black hole. So I think white hole is what happens when a black hole dies out.
You think so?
Yeah, that's the only thing because that's the only thing except for maybe severe Hawking radiation that can stop black holes.
Right, you heard about Hawking radiation. If you don't know about what Hawking radiation is, basically
it's very slow, but eventually, it has a chance to eventually destroy a black hole completely.
Is it like what? Is it positive particles? No, is it negative particles that decrease entropy of the black hole?
No, not negative particles. Negative atoms.
Negative atoms, same thing, same idea.
Negative matter will literally, and positive matter will turn both of them collide, but equivalents collide. They basically turn both each other into energy.
Right. Exactly.
So they're not really energy. They're not really destroyed. They're converted. It's the difference between them.
So, but you know what happens when you enter a black hole? You get destroyed.
Yeah.
Literally, atomically destroyed. So, would you say that entering wormhole would be kind of suicidal, unless if you can find a way to reconstruct the atoms on the other side? Granted, all of them go through to the same hole.
Technically,
dispersed.
If you think about it, if you enter at a certain point of the black hole, or if you find a way to avoid being completely destroyed, but AKA like if your whole body and not just one part of your body, but your whole body enters, there's a chance that you might become a completely just maybe just completely compressed but not destroyed.
Right. You know the process about spaghettification. You get stretched.
Yeah.
Etc. And
but you have to be like some sort of weird position even to get into that. And you'd probably be dead by then anyway, because you're being within a vacuum anyway.
So then this takes us to another question. It regards, do you think it's possible that man can create artificially made wormholes, like black holes, but less destructive?
We can create antimatter, so we can't create antimatter, but it costs a ton of money, like $1 billion each one particle.
Yeah, it's like
like it actually makes more energy when it collides with matter.
Right.
Than nuclear energy, but it is more expensive because you have to make it first.
Right. Then this brings us to another thing, which you were talking about earlier. Not to digress from the subject, you're talking about E equals mc squared.
E equals mc squared is the theory of light being bent from a star. So the sun's here, we're here, we're right here. The star will be right all the way over there. The sun's gravity would actually make the light bend slightly. So instead of going from over here.
Oh, I know what you mean. Gravitational lensing, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you have an object here in space and you have another light source behind it, and said that he's the source the light's trying to get, naturally you would think that the object would be blocking the light rays coming at you, but in fact, because space bends the principle of matter, bends around the object and enters into his eyes, right? That's what you were talking about?
Yeah, but it requires something with a large force of gravity or an unnatural force of reflective properties.
Right.
Reflective or directive properties. Usually, like a prism or a mirror would be an example.
To add on to what E equals mc squared means,
as well, but still.
Right. It's energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. It also explains the amount of energy we need to create anything in the universe that has mass.
An infinite amount.
An infinite amount. Let's say that.
Well, probably actually a finite amount, but it's so large that we normally wouldn't be able to do it because probably requires at least a Star Wars stuff, and that we got a ton of hydrogen or the atoms. And besides, I have no clue why no one's thought about there being more hardened forms of matter inside a star. Because inside of a star, before it gets to a black hole, it's actually getting closer to iron, and then they're going from hydrogen to denser and denser forms of matter.
Until it can't be compressed, then
Hydrogen,
supernova.
yeah, no, it literally turns into a different type of atom because they combine to become larger ones with stronger bonds.
Right, and then before I get,
Each level. So to the point is, it's basically there's probably hundreds of elements that we don't know about, but we can't access because of the low amount of gravity.
dark energy, dark matter. They're called dark because we don't know what they are, so we just put dark into it.
Yeah.
It's like a huge percentage of dark energy and dark matter we don't
I
even
think it
know
might just be
exists.
because we can't see in the certain spectrum of light.
Perhaps. Perhaps they could be all around us, but we just can't see them because either they're too small or we just can't access them.
Mainly because there's a bug that can see every spectrum of light that we know of.
Like, was it the viper can see the ultraviolet and can see things that we can't necessarily see. Same with the bee, I don't know what the bee can see.
Yeah, bees can only see ultraviolet though.
Ultraviolet or infrared. No, I think the viper is the infrared and bees is ultraviolet.
Yeah, vipers can use a sensor infrared. They can just use their eyes. They usually they have a pit in their nose.
Right.
You can tell.
Right. So, good stuff. Good stuff.
They have advanced sensors. Well, we are stuck with our normal sensors, which I'm pretty sure could be augmented, except for those dumb laws that the government thinks is a good idea. No, like if you don't have genetic manipulation, or the diseases that come from genetic deformations will never be cured. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you find a way to make it so, unless they all come from DNA being passed down, and then that means that you just don't have anyone to reproduce with them.
That's interesting because earlier too, when we were talking to the CEO, you brought up teleportation, and since you're right, how in order to teleport from one place to another, you have to deintegrate your atoms and then reintegrate them somewhere else. But using atoms already provided in the environment that the other pod is located, so you're basically being made out of new elements, new atoms. So that brings up the question: will that genetically modify anything? If anything goes wrong, hopefully it doesn't. Well, do you think it'll
probably be wrong, could go right, or somewhere in between?
Mm-hmm. I mean, just what?
I wouldn't really take a chance until they have advanced technology, and I wouldn't be the test subject.
Right, because something could go wrong, and you could like less than 1% of yourself could come back.
Less than 1% of us will come back, but probably they probably backed up the original my schematics for my whole body was anyway.
Right, you had to have like the world's best supercomputer.
Oh no, for modern days.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so I guess
modern days, probably like in a few years, they're probably gonna be able to do that with a phone. I mean, you know how fast we're progressing with technology, but still.
I mean, there's a laboratory I think in Hawaii where they managed to teleport a single atom.
Oh yeah, the U.S. Navy has done that to a whole ship and the crew.
The Philadelphia experiment. That was completely wrong, by the way.
There's only like a few people who survived, and none of them remember what happened because of the brain trauma. They all hit their heads.
And like, have you heard like the crazy stories how some of them were fused to the ship, like atomically, like molecularly, they were fused to the ship because they appeared in some space between spaces.
It sounded like someone tampered with something.
Maybe so, or somebody messed up on some mathematics of the device that made it work.
Where did they end up? The Bermuda Triangle. Does that sound suspicious or not?
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the medium.
Aliens. Must be aliens.
Maybe so.
Think about the disappearances. There have been disappearing ships for centuries, planes and submarines. I can understand ships and planes, but submarines, methane gas, no matter how far you sink, there's submarines that can go to, most submarines can go to basically everywhere except for the Meridian Trench.
Yeah,
And those are the military subways. The civilian ones actually can go deep. Some of the civilian ones can go even deeper.
I think they said that that area alone has high concentration of
Methane gas bubbles popping up.
and
And bubbles going up under the ship
electromagnetic
makes it
radiation.
falls down.
Right.
Make it ship sink straight down to the bottom, no matter what.
Do you think it could be like an opening to another dimension? That
We wish.
area. We know. Who knows? Could be people disappear and no one came back to tell the story.
No one come back because they don't want to come back. Then again, this what sucks, but still.
Actually, interesting story. There was a person. He was flying a Lear 45.
It actually like 2 people came out of there alive.
Yeah.
And there's a guy who actually went to impact with his son like 3 times, and the last time he goes in there,
Yeah.
he goes through there as a shortcut to Island, Bermuda Islands, and then the last time he goes in there, he dies. Goes through there, he dies.
The story goes, it's like a guy. He's in a Lear 45. He flies through the Bermuda Triangle, but all of a sudden, it's like these formation of clouds formed around his craft, and then like he was making his way to Florida, and what's up, Ethan? And something happened when he went through the clouds. Like somehow he managed to get to Florida, like hours before it usually takes him to get there, and the amount of gas, right? And like the amount of gas that's usually spent for that trip results only like he flew about 15 miles, where it's like 100 and some miles or something like that. It's a huge time
There's lots of
dilation.
information that can be like that. Tailwinds, front wind, tailwinds, winds going towards you, going
Yeah.
back behind you. You don't know what it is, but it could also be something supernatural or something that's completely been a miscalculation. No one even knows what it is.
Precisely. We're just talking about
and
physics
equipment
and wormholes and
recording
Bermuda Triangle and
Recording
shit.
equipment wouldn't work at
Cool.
all.
I had a very petrifying nightmare last night.
What?
Sucks to be you.
And all right.
What?
All right.
What? You saw your mom into having sex?
No, I hear that almost every night. I'm kidding. All right. So, want me to tell you the story?
Go ahead.
It's gonna be a long story, like 10 minutes.
I don't know. I won't be able
It's
to
not a
take time.
10-minute story. He just told me it.
All right. That was the synopsis. All right. So, Halloween
Yeah,
Eve.
2 minutes. Cause I won't.
Halloween Eve, Anthony, Desi, like a bunch of people, even Dusty, and a couple girls as well. Anthony's girlfriend. We're all hanging out, and all of a sudden we go outside real quick because it's getting night. Trick or treat's about to start, and I even tell Desi, let's pull a prank. Let's actually tell them that there's a clown coming, and they were like, oh, okay, cool, let's go do that. I look inside the field, a clown, full blown, sprinting at my house with a gun. With the gun, starts sprinting at my house. We're like, we gotta get going. We gotta go inside right now. We have to go. We do not care. We have to go inside now. So
Go, get inside, get your guns.
we go inside, and the door is like the back door is locked, but the front door, on the other hand, is like no. The front door is locked as well. We forgot to lock one window. The clown got in from one window, beat the shit out of Anthony, beat the shit out of Dusty, beat the shit out of Desi. Actually tried to kick his girlfriend's ass. No, but I got one punch on him
Anthony, your
and he
problem
knocked
is
me
you're
out.
all talk.
No show. Is that how it
Here's
is?
the thing.
He punched. I got
It's
punched
me,
in the
Desi,
face.
and Dusty. If we saw a clown, I'm pretty sure one of
Yeah,
us
but
would have
here's
attacked.
the problem. Here's the problem. You're all talk. So the thing is, as soon as you're faced with a situation that would genuinely put your life in danger, you're gonna shut down and clam up, and it's gonna be a bloodbath.
Not really.
And so
In other words,
I
you're
punched the
fucked.
clown in the face
I've
one
almost
time.
been
He
killed
knocks me out cold. I wake up, duct taped to a chair. He starts talking to me, and he points a gun to Desi and says, "Surprise, motherfucker!" And he shoots. It's a cap gun. It was all a prank. And I'm just completely shedding in tears. And
Wow.
I woke up still at 5:30, like still petrified. I don't do clowns, and that was just really messed
No
up.
shit. There was a reason.
That wouldn't.
It was messed up.
There's
that
a
would
reason
just
we
been
got the
annoying.
prank where we all dressed up as clowns for your birthday.
Yeah, my birthday already
And people
passed.
wonder
but-
why I keep a gun underneath my pillow.
You done? You done?
Yeah. Are you done?
Remember, okay. If your parents were aliens, and they say you found out that they were doing some alien ritual shit in the basement.
We don't have a basement.
Okay, some ritual shit somewhere. Then what would you do?
I'd ask to join them.
Really?
Behind you. Behind you.
Oh, you can't like walk the rest of the way.
All right. Anyway, what was the question before?
If your parents were aliens,
If my parents were aliens.
Oh
Then
God, not this
then
shit
that makes
again.
Here's the thing. Trick question, because that makes me an alien.
It does. Or
So I'd be fine with it, because I'm an
I think it's
alien.
a hybrid. Because maybe they let some other.
It's like maybe one of your parents is an alien, but the other's not.
I already knew. I found out I was an alien a while back when I went to go down to take a pee, and I
You're not
found
an
out I
alien,
had
you're
two
an ex.
penises.
Eric, I have to tell you something. I know you get it mixed up sometimes because they both start with A. Damn! You got knocked off.
Anthony, release! Head dog, head! Release!
Anthony, bad dog. Anthony, you know what? Fuck this shit.
You good?
Let go. Wait, no. Anthony, let go when I said. Treat.
Way to go, you idiot. You killed him.
Wow, I don't even know who's trying.